Once again with special guest Daniel Newman, designer of A Head in the Clouds and Feet on the Ground. Welcome to Design Diary, the podcast where you get to look inside my board game design notebook as well as what's going on inside my head. We look at a new word each day from the sense of mechanics, tone, theme, or inspiration for a full game. Today's word is extenuate. Oh, I didn't even say that. I don't even think I said that right.
No, you said it wrong.
Extenuate?
Extenuate. Yeah.
Thank you. To lessen or try to lessen the seriousness or extent of making partial excuses. Mitigate. And then the second definition is to lessen the strength or effect of. So tell me what you got for extenuate.
All right. So my brain just kind of went off in the direction of like a party game, which I don't really enjoy, but this word kind of led me down that path. So I was thinking you would have like a deck of cards of problems, like maybe something has gone wrong at work, or you'd have specific scenarios, and then the first player would have to give some excuse as to why they didn't help out and fix that or stop it from happening, and then the next player would have to build on that and give their reason why, and maybe why they didn't help the first person, and you would just it would cascade through until everybody had kind of contributed and making excuses for themselves and for each other. I don't know what the end goal of that is, but...
Well, there were two things that I thought were cool about that. One is if it's on the fly, the person who's playing before you comes up with an excuse, you might have your excuse, but you don't have your excuse for them yet. Right. So you can build up your normal excuse, but then you have to play off of what they did and like take it up another level, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, it reminds me of those. Like I remember going on car trips and stuff with I don't know, like Scholar Bowl tournaments or something. So it was a bunch of kids in a car driving across country, and there would be that like a story where somebody starts writing, and then they stop at a certain point and they pass it on, and somebody else has to pick up the story and keep writing. Have you ever done that kind of exercise?
Never went on trips like that.
Okay,
but I have done exercises like that. There's a couple degrees of it. Does the second person see the story that the first person did?
Yeah. Okay. So they're past a paragraph, right? Yeah. But then once they have it, they can make it go in whatever direction they want.
Yeah, that's
because they're in control of it now. And then they pass it to somebody else, and it's cool to see it at the end, like how the story has evolved and how far it's come from the first person who started it, who had this clear idea, but everybody else kind of ran off on their own with it. So I was thinking something similar to that, but all around like making excuses for each other.
We did a little design challenge. It was, what was it called? It was me, 3 other Jasons, and Adam McIver.
Okay.
What was the name of it? It was something about just all being Jays. I have it in my email somewhere, but it was basically the same thing where you took part of a game, designed it, and then passed it to the next person, and they could change pretty much everything that you did, but it was basically like you didn't do any input except for when it was your like week with the game.
Right.
It was super cool.
That was kind of like what you were doing with the board game road trip, right?
Yeah,
a little bit
to a degree. That's pretty much the same thing too. So yeah.
It's like an old parlor game thing, right? Like that building on somebody else's.
Yeah, and there's a couple party games. Telestrations has touches of that.
Right.
Where somebody draws something.
But Wait, There's More, I think, is one that does a similar thing as well.
Yeah, and it's a cool creative exercise.
I don't know if it's a game. I don't know how you would structure it.
Well, so my thought, as you were saying this, and you were talking about the workplace and stuff like that, I was thinking, you said excuses, and I was thinking of from a theme side was people calling out. And
I like that.
Somebody calls out for work.
Sick.
Yeah, but then like the next day, like you want off and you have to come up with a better excuse than the last guy, or you're just keep calling out day after day and you have to keep coming out with better excuses.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
I don't know. That just hits very close to home. So.
And maybe there's a memory component where you have to remember the things that you
that you've already
said. You had said, so you don't get caught.
Or
if somebody else can catch you using the same excuse.
I have. You know how you always have to cough like as you're calling out?
Yeah.
But like you have to include all of your ailments somehow.
Oh no.
Verbally.
So you have to add like a tick to each phone call in.
A sneeze.
That'd be really funny.
You know.
I could see that being really funny.
That is pretty funny. It's very specific and narrow, but
Yeah, well,
but it is funny.
you've played my games, so
That's true. It's right in line, right in line with the others.
Specific and narrow is kind of my brand.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So I saw that you had this week. You said that one of your games is not being published.
Yeah,
And it's up
So,
for grabs if
it
anybody's
is.
listening. And I was going to say that we were going to grab it, but it just didn't fit the naming convention. So
right. That's not punny enough. Also, it requires like 80 dice or something, so not really in the button shy line.
no. But
But-
if anyone's listening, Daniel has a game, and I'm sure many others available.
Yeah, so mech chores, you're using decommissioned mechs that you've acquired from the government to do your household chores because wars are over, and what else are you going to do with these giant hulking robots? So it's rolling dice and placing them on cards and upgrading your mech to get dice mitigation abilities and all sorts of fun stuff. But anyway,
Cool.
I have it back. I have to kind of retool it and see who might be interested in it.
Well, maybe you can throw in some extenuating circumstances.
Maybe I can. Work that in.
Slip that in. The other word that mitigate is just a single word in the definition. I guess it's just it's a synonym. It just makes me think of mitigating die rolls and mitigating randomness and all that kind of fun stuff.
Mitigation is in almost every game, right? Like anytime there's luck, you need some way to mitigate that luck.
Exactly. It's tricky too because when I see the word mitigate, I mean it's in every game. How do you build something new off of that? And
right,
it's been happening a lot lately as I see these words, and then there's one that's just like randomness, and it's just it's in every game. And
what do you do with that? So you have to tease out something else in the definition.
Exactly.
That gives you something to work with. So I liked. Yeah, that's why I kind of hit on excuses.
Yeah,
and then I started thinking about that. So
all right,
well, cool.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us. And
yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Cool. I'll see you around.
All right, Jason. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, you know what? We have to give your information. We didn't give any. How do people find you?
Well, I live on Twitter.
So just go to Twitter.
Just go to Twitter. You'll find me pretty quickly. Everybody knows me there. It's like I'm Norm from Cheers. But I'm at DNLNWMN. And yeah, hit me up there. Cool. I talk about game stuff and chocolate chip cookies and whatever else strikes my fancy.
The easy way to remember that is it's Daniel Newman without the vowels, right?
That is correct. It's my name without vowels.
Because just spelling it right there was just like, what? But it's a lot simpler than that. It sounds.
But it's my name without vowels.
All right.
Because Daniel and Newman are both very common and common together. So it's tricky to find good usernames.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you around.
Bye-bye.